What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 7th episode of Sports Talk with me, your girl, Whitney B. I was having some technical difficulties, so I was not able to go live, and for the past couple of weeks, I have been sick as a dog, so I thank y'all for being patient with me. I wasn't even really going to do the show because of my live issues yesterday, but I was like, I had a good show planned, and I needed to really get this out for my fans, for everybody who've been waiting. And I mean, it's a lot going on in sports, over the weeks, playoffs, just everything with football. So without further ado, y'all, let's get this show started. And again, welcome into the 7th episode, or this might be the 6th episode, I'm sorry, of Sports Talk with me, your girl, Whitney B. We are in our second season. I am trying to get better, just do better things. And again, I was out because I was sick. Whew. But again, I'm back and I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. So y'all know I'm just going to start with the Lions because there's no way I always say, I'm not going to start with the Lions. I want this to be the good part, but it's just a lot going on. So the Lions beat Green Bay. I knew it was a possibility that the Lions could win this game simply because Green Bay was talking about resting their starters. But at the end of the day, we still was up in the halftime. Aaron Rodgers was out there with 17-10. No, I think it was 17-13 at the half. This time, because it was 17-14 the first time at the half. And remember when I told y'all the Lions went in the locker room and ate Cheez-Its because they did not score 1 point the first time. They went to Lambeau and was up at the half. This time I'm nail biting like, oh my God, we up again. It's 17 points again. What will the Lions do differently this time around that they did not do the first time? And when I tell y'all, they went in there, they kicked butt, they made it happen, and I am just so, I was like I don't know, like I was running around my house. It literally was like a Super Bowl win. A division win for Dan Campbell at the end of the day is great. The Lions went 3-13-1. This whole season, y'all know this has been like tragic to me because I'm like, oh my God, will the Lions be the first team to go 0-17? What's up? And then let me hit on this real quick for the people who talking about, the Lions should have tanked, the Lions should have lost. This whole first round draft pick stuff and all of this, the Lions will pick second this year. I don't think y'all understand that as a fan, we want them to get good draft picks or whatever, but this is why teams hire great GMs. This is why teams have these great organizations because this is what their job is to do, is to go out and recruit. Look at the GM went out and got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round last season. Brad Holmes. Dude, how many people skipped up on this talent? Like Amon-Ra, oh my God. Second game, he got over 100 yards. His yards after the catch is what really sets him out above the rest. And I loved what he said in his post-game interview. He want to make all them teams who skipped over him really regret that decision. And I am so glad. It sucks that it was the 4th round. But I am super happy to know that Brad Holmes found him. And with that being said, I think Brad's going to do it, regardless of where the team drafts and all of that. I think he got it. Kansas City, they started off horrible. Miami started off horrible. These teams really turned their game around and had winning seasons. And these teams are not like, we might as well just tank to get a number 1 draft pick or pick higher up. No, they want to win. You play to win. You play to win divisions and win playoffs and win Super Bowls. They don't play to tank. I don't understand why, as fans, we expect them to lose. Like, I don't know. Some of y'all be half base, and it just, that game with the Lions was amazing. The only thing that was wrong to me is when the trick play, the first one that they didn't work with the fake punt. Jack Fox is a hell of a punter and the thrower. I just want to add that out. The next time we need to use a backup quarterback, we need to just try out Jack Fox because that man is sweet. But anyway, they did two other trick plays that resulted in touchdowns. So the Lions really pulled out all the stops. I'm trying to tell y'all that Dan Campbell, since taking over play calling, the Lions is what 3-5-1 since Dan Campbell took over. So at first I was like, what is this? First time head coach, you got Anthony Lynn messing up. He ain't doing this job. It was really big of Dan Campbell to make that call, but some people I know looked at it like, well, how, Anthony Lynn is the vet and you doing this. Well, thank you, Dan. It showed that you knew what you was doing, and we appreciate that because at the end of the day, I mean, what are we really doing here? But I don't know. Like, I don't know, y'all. Dan Campbell definitely earned the name Motor City Dan, for one. For two, I'm excited to see what's going on next season, especially where they, draft, who they draft. I'm not sure, if Jacksonville being number one is going to draft Aiden Hutchinson or Kevon Thibodeau. Either one, I mean, both players are basically kind of like in the same bracket. If you get one, you get the other. My only worry with Kevon Thibodeau, is he's already been injured in college. So, I mean, is he injury prone? What we don't need is another Jeff Okudah situation. You can't draft somebody third, and we just don't even know where they really fall in the roster. So, even with Aiden, like hopefully these people come and they blow them out, but we just don't need nobody to just come. You got to sign these rookies and they sitting on the bench. That's just, I don't know. But the sad part about, the good and bad part, I guess, is Aaron Glenn is such a beast, the Lions defensive coordinator. So I told y'all early on in the season, I hope we don't lose him to a head coaching job, which so many of them opened up this week, Monday. Minnesota fired their coach and their GM. Miami fired their coach. Chicago fired their coach and the GM retired. New York finally fired their coach the other day. Jacksonville been fired Urban Meyer through this in the middle of the season, and Oakland with John Gruden. So it's so many head coaching positions. Denver fired their coach as well, and rumor is Aaron Glenn got an interview in Denver, and I do not want to see him go. Like, this is tragic, but at the end of the day, it's like you can't stop this man's money or what's destined for him, what's meant for him, because what he did with the Lions defense, I mean, I'm for sure interested in seeing what he could do with a full team. I just don't want to see him in Minnesota or Chicago, to be honest. Aaron, if you're going to leave us, do not coach in the division. Please do not coach in the division. I mean, I don't know. When you look at it, too, it's like Chicago definitely needs to do what the Lions did, bringing in, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Like, they literally did a complete rebuild. Like, no, it's not going to be a situation where Matthew Stafford will be traded to the Rams. They have Justin Fields. Justin Fields being a young rookie. I think you figure out what's going to go on with him for a minute to see if he's really the franchise quarterback or if they're going to need to bring in a quarterback maybe next year or the following year. But they literally need to do a complete rebuild there in Chicago. One moment, guys. I got a cough. But I honestly feel like all of the veteran players, some of the veteran players, like, they need to strip that team down, make them young again, and definitely just go from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, it would be easy to say, well, they kind of got all the pieces. They just really need to have the good coach the good head coach and a good GM. But That's not the case in Chicago with like Justin Fields. Like it's uncertain. He did okay, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You know, I don't know. The most shocking firing of all of the coaches that was fired was Miami. Like we really fired Brian Flores. Like, and one thing about the NFL, y'all, if y'all not really realizing this or looking at it for what it is, the NFL do not play when it comes to coaches. Like you can be winning and lose. Like look at what happened to Brian. Like how you fire this man 2 winning seasons. Like and then this season they literally were looking Lion-esque and won 8 of their last 9 games. Like literally they beat the Patriots. Like what are we doing here? A very good Patriots team. Granted, rookie quarterback, but Tua Tagovailoa is basically a rookie as well because he set out a lot of last season and was hurt too this season. So, I mean, I don't know. One thing's for sure and 2 things for certain. Brian Flores will have a job when it comes to coaching. Now, where he's going, I don't know. I mean, I think the hardest job right now to take would be Chicago. Maybe Chicago or New York. Shit, Jacksonville too. I don't know. I think what I was reading or what I was hearing, rumor has it, is that he really didn't believe in bringing Deshaun Watson over, which, I mean, for what? We got Tua. He's proven himself. So I wouldn't be on the whole, we need another quarterback up in here. I wouldn't, necessarily go for that. Especially not even knowing what's going on with Deshaun Watson, y'all. This show basically started when all of that stuff broke with Deshaun Watson. So I give you guys all the updates I can. I promise to follow the story, and I told you he can't be deposed, deposition, whatever the right word is for it. It won't happen until after the Super Bowl. He won't go to court. He can't talk about it. None of that. Now, he was trying to settle, but to me, settling is just some kind of admission of guilt. Deshaun Watson said, I settle with y'all, but it's going to have to be public. Then women was like, no, we don't want it to be public. Then it was all kind of stuff coming out, like people was getting busted in lies. Oh, I just want to get this, or whatever. So all of that still with Deshaun Watson is a super, super toss-up. Like the Texans, I mean, we still don't even know what's going on there. I don't know. I just personally feel like this season was a wasted season for Houston because y'all paid this man to really sit on the bench, and it's still uncertainty there. Like they don't know. And I'm telling you now, if Deshaun Watson is able to play and they trade him or he, leave in free agency or something, some other team is going to pick that man up and he's going to do well. I mean, if y'all remember correctly, like I remember correctly, the Watt was apologizing to him for the horrible season they had last season. Like, man, we were really letting our quarterback down. Like he had respect of the players, the team. It just the coach and the ownership. And then it's like, how as an owner do you go out and seek your neighbor to defend these women against your player? Like, I don't know. So all of that over there seems like a very messy soap opera. But this man is still really getting paid to sit there and do nothing. So I don't know. It's just, when it comes to Brian Flores, just to go back to my original topic, I don't think he should have been fired. Like, he's just, I don't know. Like, you can tell he had, the control of the locker room. He was doing what he had to do on the sideline. Like, he was literally a leader, and you could see that. And just the way the team, played for him. So, I know it was kind of crazy because Deshaun Watson wanted to go to Miami because Brian Flores was such a good coach. But You got to believe in who you believe in. And if Tua was his man, they should have just let that ride out, because if Miami hires the wrong person and they don't win at least 9 games next season, what was this for? Like, and that to fill those shoes as the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins, that's something that you got to think about, because at the end of the day, it goes so fast. You will be out before you know it. So are they going to let the next coach come in and tank, oh, well, they won 5 games? No, because you fired this man who was getting it done. So, no, I don't know. And I don't even think, y'all know Darrell Bevell is an interim head coach again. He was the Lions offensive coordinator, interim head coach when they fired Matt Patricia. He went over to Jacksonville. He was their OC. When they fired Urban Meyer, here come Bevell as the interim head coach. I don't think he's going to get the coaching position. I don't think he's going to get that there in Jacksonville. I'm just not sure what's going on. One thing for sure and 2 things for certain: Michigan as a state, we're losing some good people, or the rumor has it, we're losing some good people, because, rumor is Coach Harbaugh is leaving Michigan for one of these NFL jobs. Like, really? Excuse me. I'm like, Coach, we literally get, okay, Jim Harbaugh is no loser, and this is what we know. You know what I'm saying? This is what we know. Like, this man can put together what he needs to put together and get there. He did it in the NFL. He turned around and he doing it in the NCAA with Michigan. Yes, this is the first year he's really kind of accomplished a lot. No, they did not win against Michigan State, but they did beat Ohio State, was the Big Ten champions, or is the Big Ten champions, I'm sorry, and was in the college football playoffs. I don't think Harbaugh should leave. Like, at least give it another year and see if you can accomplish more, or, get there, basically. Like, what are we doing here, Jim? Like, and I think it's just so crazy because everybody was calling for this man's job. Not me, but so many people was calling for this man's job, and I don't know, like, what are we? I'm just so, when I was reading this, I said, what? Harbaugh to Denver. And it wasn't until, Saturday, after that Denver game, and they fired the coach, everybody's like, oh, they're going to interview Harbaugh and blah, blah, blah. And yes, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that team is kind of more complete, and they really need to figure out the quarterback situation over there, too, because I don't think our good friend Teddy is it. I just, I don't know. Quarterback situation, figure it out. Oakland would be an ideal place for Harbaugh as well, because, they're a good team. Derek Carr is a great quarterback. If I had to see Harbaugh really going somewhere where he would be, I guess, like, it wouldn't be such a hard fix for him as a coach, it would be probably Denver or Oakland, actually. Las Vegas, the Raiders. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm calling them Oakland Raiders, but the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't think New York would be that idea for Harbaugh. Minnesota, maybe. Now, Chicago, I can see him wanting to go to Chicago to, just give Chicago a good name because he played for that team. I believe he was drafted from in the draft. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears, and then, went on to Indianapolis and was fantastic. Now, Indianapolis has not fired Frank. What is his name? Frank Reich, or something like that. They haven't fired him. Why, I don't know. But they need to get rid of Carson Wentz. And, they need to get rid of the coach and the quarterback. Is it Carson? Or is he on Minnesota? All of these quarterbacks is mixing me up. But y'all know the quarterback on Indianapolis, he sucks. I'm not even trying to be mean. It's just, Jonathan Taylor, I hollered this all season. Well, mid-season, Jonathan Taylor should be MVP. He can't carry the team by himself, though. That's one thing, we have to, I don't know, like, Carson Wentz is just, I think he's done. Even just like the quarterback in Minnesota, I get them mixed up. Kirk Cousins and Carson Wentz, yes. Carson Wentz is in Indianapolis. Kirk Cousins is in Minnesota. I do away with both of them. So, and I think that's what when it comes to being these head coaches, it's like, what are we going to do here with these awful quarterbacks? Like, I don't know. I would be like, I don't want to take this job, or I'm going to take this job, but if this quarterback does not prove himself this season, it's a wrap. I could see, I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis, but I could definitely see Harbaugh wanting to take Chicago or Indy if Indy was open, because those are his teams. He played there before, and actually he has a name in Indianapolis, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just going to be sad to see Harbaugh go if he does leave Michigan, and then who would they bring over to be the head coach of Michigan? It's just, like, that has always been an argument, like, well, who can they replace him with, or, what can we do, or what do we do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, it's just a lot. Football on both sides, college and professional, it is really something else. But before I move on to to the NFL playoffs, let me just start by congratulating Georgia on their win against Alabama Monday. Now, I was rooting for Georgia, to be perfectly honest, only because my husband was rooting for Alabama. I just really wanted to go opposite of him. And I'm just like, we really need to see something new. Like, I know Georgia, Alabama being in this position is not kind of new, but just Alabama winning, I love some Nick Saban. Will he leave Alabama and take one of these NFL jobs? I don't think so, especially after seeing what went on with Urban Meyer. I think Nick might stay where he at for real, but it was cool. It was cool for sure. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Georgia, it was so boring in the beginning, though. Then field goals, all of that. Okay. Georgia scored the first touchdown of the whole game in the third quarter. 2 fumbles, no interceptions. They did, Alabama, recover one of the fumbles and actually scored off of it, but the way Georgia turned around and answered and then got the pick 6, Kirby Smart was all happy. And it was just a beautiful thing at the end. You seen DeAndre Swift out there on the sidelines, a former Georgia dog. Just, it was good. I was even happy to see Matthew Stafford and Kelly Stafford enjoying the win, both being former Georgia dogs. Matthew played football. Kelly was a cheerleader. I was just revved up like, yes, our team won, Side note, before I go on to, I'm tired of people calling people bandwagon fans. Like, you really only get one team to root for. I can't be like, well, Michigan gonna win the college football playoffs. No, I can't do that because they weren't in. So, yes, my team, the team that I was going for, won. If that makes me a bandwagon fan for the day, then let me jump on this bandwagon and enjoy the ride. Some of y'all just want to trip about something and nothing, and I don't understand it. But anywho, when it comes to the game, I was interested in the game, but I was more or less like, what? When I saw the comments made by Nick Saban and Kirby Smart in their interview before they had a joint press time before the show. Before the game. And in this interview, they was talking about name, image, and likeness, how college football players are able to get paid off of their name, image, and likeness. Well, both coaches seem to agree and say that they think that it should be more regulated by the NCAA because they feel that this will cause problems, when it comes to the transfer portal and just recruiting in general, which is almost understandable if this was coming from like Central Michigan University coach or, I don't know, like another school, I guess, not one of these schools where y'all getting the top recruiters, the top recruits, whether they're getting paid or not. You know what I'm saying? Like most of these kids, they want to play for Georgia or Alabama, especially. When you look at the quarterback, Stetson Bennett, he literally, walked back on the team. He started there, left, come back. He really had to earn the position. But the thing about it, Stetson didn't leave. Like he didn't quit. And he believed in himself so much so that he had the team starting to believe in him as well. Even when their starting quarterback was able to come back from injury, Kirby was like, nah, we just going to keep Stetson out there. And that's why he was so emotional. You know what I'm saying? But it's like these players want to be at these schools because they have these winning records and they can be, champions. I feel like it's crazy, when it comes to SEC schools anyway. I'm sure the SEC players are getting hella deals. They said Bryce Young got he had deals tallying up to $1 million and blah, blah, blah. My thing with NIL was more or less like, well, you got this whole team. Well, this one person getting all this money, like Bryce Young. Let's just use that example. Well, I'm seeing Bryce getting all these deals, but as an offensive tackle, I ain't getting nothing. They ain't even trying to pass me lunch. So do they start to block less, do less of a good job because of being a hater? I don't know. I could see if that was kind of a concern, but when it comes to recruiting, like y'all gonna recruit at the top anyway. And I'm sure it's just been a cluster of who to choose or what. Anyway, like it shouldn't, I'm not even sure why they would be worried about a player's money or how a player should be compensated based on who they are, I guess. I don't know. That's just, I looked at the article on ESPN and I was like, okay, whatever. We gonna see. But I'm happy. I'm happy that these players are able to get paid finally. And again, give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. At this point, get a man his trophy back and let's move on. All right, y'all. It's wild card weekend. I want to say it's the best time of the year and it's the worst. It's the best time because, it's the playoffs. It's about to be Super Bowl, but that's what makes it the worst because after the Super Bowl, football is over. We got the draft and then we done. So I'm over it. I will start with the AFC because I'm an NFC girl from the Lions. So I'm going to start with the AFC. The number one seed is Tennessee, so Tennessee will have a break this week. The number 2 and the number 7 teams go up against each other. You got Kansas City going against Pittsburgh, Buffalo number 3 going against number 6 New England, and number 4 Cincinnati going against number 5 Las Vegas. That Sunday night game against the Chargers and the Raiders was crazy. Okay, like when I say nail biting crazy, it was nail biting crazy for me. But I'm sure it was more nail-biting crazy for Pittsburgh because basically if they would have ended in a tie, Pittsburgh would have been out. And I believe the Raiders was trying to, you know what, the narrative at first was the Raiders was trying to end it in a tie. But I really think that they was going to do what they had to do anyway. And, yeah. It was looking real tie-esque, but I don't think the Raiders really wanted a tie, but if it happened, it happened. Either way it go, the Chargers, when they caught that timeout, that was like over. I think we all kind of knew what was going on. So the Chargers is not in it. Sorry, Justin Herbert. But, okay. So, in this matchup, I'm happy to see the Patriots in it. The Patriots playing the Bills. That's probably gonna be the most interesting game for me. And Dallas and San Francisco. Actually, both the number 3 and the number 6 teams. The other games, it seems to be okay. You know, kind of like you know who gonna win, but I don't know. When it comes to the NFC, you got Green Bay sitting at number 1, Tampa at number 2. They play number 7 Philly. Dallas. Number 3 play number 6 San Fran. And then you got number 4 LA against number 5 Arizona. I'm more interested and happy to see the Rams play the Cardinals again because they were split in the season. And then this is a playoff game. Kyler Murray has choked so hard the end of the season. I don't even know what to say. Excuse me, guys. I got a cough. I'm not even sure how this is going to go. And then it's like you got Matthew Stafford, who's never won a playoff game. So that matchup is going to be pretty good as well. I'm actually rooting for Matt. I don't know. I mean, this is Matthew Stafford's, second, maybe third time being in the playoffs. And he usually choked too, but we'll see how this go for him, especially, starting off with the Cardinals. One thing I would say about his division in the NFC, you got 3 of the 4 teams in there. The only team that's not in there is Seattle. What is it, the NFC West? If you ask me, that's the best division in football right now because 3 of their 4 teams is in the playoffs. So shout out to them. Shoot. San Francisco, the game against the Rams last week was so freaking good. I know I have talked a lot of crap and a lot of smack about Jimmy G, but my God, that man is phenomenal. The way he came back, the Rams defense really has not been playing as well as they have been, in previous seasons. And, hey, that's why San Francisco is in it, not the Saints. So I think the game against Dallas and San Francisco actually, one of these 2 games will be the game of the week. Dallas against San Fran or Buffalo against New England. Other than that, it's like, okay, the Chiefs is probably definitely going to, beat the Steelers. And I'm glad the Steelers made the playoffs, especially seeing as though this is Big Ben's last season in the NFL, but they're not going to beat the Chiefs. One thing about Tom Brady is he can figure out how to win against all odds. I think it's going to be a pretty close game against the Eagles and the Buccaneers. I don't want to just necessarily say the Bucs is going to beat up on them. And it could be an upset. Philly could win, but I'm just going to go with Tom Brady because it's just his team wants to win. They love to win. I'm for them. Even, with all that stuff that happened with Antonio Brown and who's telling the truth or what's going on there. I don't like the comments he made about Tom Brady, especially seeing as though this man let you in this house. You're here because of him. And you like, oh, Tom Brady ain't the team. Well, we know that. We know that. He can't throw the ball to himself and score a touchdown. So what are we doing here, Antonio? That's neither here nor there. I think Tampa Bay is going to pull it off. The defense has got to stop the run, and then boom, they got it. Buffalo and New England, that's gonna be a good game too. I don't know. In my heart of hearts, I want the rookie to take it. I don't know. I don't know. Josh Allen, that man is a special talent. He is. So I don't know about that one either. Man, I'm trying to think like really what? Cincinnati versus Las Vegas. I think the Raiders gonna be bumped. I do. I mean, Joe Burrow versus Derek Carr as a quarterback, it's good, but I think Joe is definitely proven to be a monster. Cincinnati, I honestly feel like Cincinnati could be the number 1 seed next year. I mean, Jamar Chase, they just, I don't know. I think they're gonna beat the Raiders though. That's for sure. Yeah, I think the Rams will probably pull off the Cardinals, to be honest. Matthew Stafford just cannot turn the ball over. Like, I mean, one thing about it, you can look like you about to sack Matthew Stafford and he gonna go down. So the Rams need to play awesome defense, and Matthew Stafford cannot turn the ball over, and the game is in the bag. So I'm excited. That's the Monday night game, actually, the Rams versus the Cardinals. So it's going to be good. This is going to be phenomenal. We got football Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's playoff time, y'all. I'm excited. Get excited with me. We going to really do this. I'm hoping to be back live maybe next week. If not, I'm just going to bring you the show like this. The technical difficulties hopefully will be over, but if not, I'm gonna do the show like this, but hopefully it's live because I want y'all to call in. I want to talk about the playoffs, who y'all think gonna go to the Super Bowl. It's a little early to make the predictions. I love me some Aaron Rodgers at this point. I know I sound like a traitor to Lions fans, but I really think Green Bay. The problem is Aaron Rodgers really be in the NFC games and choke. Like this is not the Aaron Rodgers we've had all season. So it's questionable. He can play all the rest of the games, but once it gets to the NFC North, I mean not NFC playoff. Who going to the Super Bowl game is who's winning the whole division is he chokes. But I think on this list, I honestly feel like Green Bay could beat all these teams. When it comes to number 1 Tennessee, it's questionable. I think Cincinnati could beat Tennessee, to be honest. But hey, I don't know, y'all. I'm just here. I'm excited. I'm excited and I'm sad again because it means that football is coming to an end. But we'll see this week, and we're gonna talk about it more next week. Again, guys, I want to thank you so much for just being patient with me. It's not easy, and I get defeated sometimes when I have issues and difficulty, but you guys, y'all make me feel good. Reaching out to me, just do something. So I appreciate everybody. Like, I swear I appreciate everybody, and I thank y'all so much. Please remember, follow me on all social media at MyWhitneyB. That's MyWhitneyB, and go to mywhitneyb.com. Make sure you subscribe to the website and the YouTube and everything. If you want to donate to the cause, All of that information on how to do so and where to do so is on the website. So again, go to www.mywhitneyb.com and check me out. I appreciate all of you, and I'm out.